Yeah. Opposite. Yeah, like. No, this is their eyes. Like this.
What? No, I don't know.
A person like Chatterjee, who was a graduate of ARI, a gifted graduate, went back, implemented for over 20 years what he learned, and then who is a great educator as well, is just the right person to come back to ARI to share with participants how it's done, how you take this theory, go back with all of the challenges that you face, use local resources, and adopt it to the local situation. And not only can he talk about how it's done, but he can give the encouragement that it really is possible. So that's why a person like Chatterjee really is crucial to fill that gap that we have here at ARI in our curriculum.
I come from Cameroon, or northwest region of Cameroon. We have highlands and savanna areas. And, most people there, because of overhunting and overgrazing, they're cutting down the forest. The land is almost bare. So we try to, what I think I can go back and share with them are the various teachings of Chatterjee as he explained. You have to start gradually with the very common people, and you maybe create some groups or understanding, or maybe myself we create a little bit of demonstration plot for the people to see and then copy. Chatterjee taught many areas, the activities of the marginalized people, how he brought the pictures to us from his explanation.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So most of the farmers produce one type of food, and it is a problem. So his teaching, I think, is more important to my community.
In Japan, also we have local wisdom for farming, but in India, also they have a lot of local wisdom, and then that wisdom is different from Japanese. And then their situation in India is much more closer to the participant countries.
So when I follow his teaching, I think my farm will not be a failure.
The model that ARI uses for its leadership training is where participants come out of their communities. These are leaders coming out of their communities, and they're here where they develop principles, they learn theory, some practical experience, and then they go back and implement it. Where they must adjust, they must use local resources, they must adjust everything they've learned to the social political situation.
When I go back in Uganda, I will tell them how to intercrop the crops so that they can sustain themselves, because when we have a diversity of crops, I think we can be free, my community will be hunger-free.
I came from Nepal, eastern part of Nepal, very close from Mount Everest. I have a note from his lecture, and I already said I'm very impressed because it's very similar. His place and my place is very close.
I'm Lydia, and I'm from Zambia. I remember Chatterjee as a father. Chatterjee encouraged us on integrated farming, where we keep the animals, we maintain the soil, and also grow different types of crops so that we maintain our lives. What I learned from Chatterjee is that animals, human beings, the soil, we are all interrelated. Interrelated in the sense that we keep these animals. These animals, they produce manure, which we use to enrich the soil. After enriching the soil, we grow crops and eat them again. In the same way, we are trying to maintain the eco-balance by living in harmony with all the living things like the animals, the insects, the microorganisms, and also maintaining the soil. In that way, on the other, we are trying to be interdependent.
He has a strong philosophy, and then one of the philosophies is that if there is one thing in nature that has a lot of function, like chicken. Chicken doesn't only lay eggs, but also it has a lot of function in nature. But farmers try to utilize chicken as a machine of laying eggs only.
Hello, Chatterjee. Thank you for teaching us about agriculture, especially your philosophy, the best. I remember in my heart to keep nature and not only to how to good farmer, but you say how to help poor people. The purpose is to keep healthy nature, healthy social and healthy economy.
In this training center, the village people, the farmers come to learn. So, all these things we are seeing, different ways of growing crops, different way of mixing crops. Just like people sit in a circle in order to talk to each other. So, plants also should be sometime in a circle, sometime in a bed, square bed. We are trying many different ways and comparing whether this will be growing better or this will be growing better, whether we need to give more water or less water, whether we have to give maybe more fertilizer or less fertilizer, that we are trying to see that. In no place you see only one kind of plant. In all the beds there are at least 2-3 kind of vegetables, and we try some vegetables which are short time living and some vegetables which are long time living. The important idea is diversity. The only limitation is how much water we have, because sunlight is the main resource that poor farmer has. This pot is made for storing water. It is coated with a small clay thing, not to give out too much water. 15-20 centimeter under the soil, there will be 2 or 3 holes, very small hole, and that is how the water is not evaporating. So, very little loss of water. So, here we fill this pot with water. We fill this pot with water, this place, and we cover it up, and every minute one drop water will be reaching the soil. The water loss is very little. Rather than using a lot of water, you just come and fill up these pots, and then the plant irrigate by itself. Not only various kind of plants are there, but also various kind of arrangements of planting them, depending on the size the farmer has, the gardener has. So, this is called a circle garden. The advantage of this system is that we do not have to do much watering, and this area is filled with mulch, dry material. So, automatically some of that becomes compost below, and the planting area is only this, only on this area. The outside we mulch with straw. This is the turmeric plant. This is the thing he is digging there. So, it grows like this, that is why it is called elephant foot, and there are more than 150 growing here under the soil, only in this small space. So about 150 of these, and this we can, as I was saying earlier, this we can store for 6-7 months without any processing, without any other need of drying. And right now we can take it to a store, and when we eat it, we have to cut any small part, and then we boil it, then we eat it as similar as potato, mash it, and we can eat it. This one in market, this will be sold for about 200 rupees. It is a plant from the okra family, the cotton family. So it grows about 1.5 to 2 meter tall as a bush. It takes about 6 months to grow and flower. But during that period, here now not visible, but this is the stem, and there are many leaves, and leaf is also edible. And then we have inside some seed. This is the seed pod, and this is the coat of the seed pod. What we have introduced is that from this leaf, from this thing, it is possible to make jam or jelly and sell that in the market. In June, it will rain again. Till that time, it is about 6 months total dry period, very little chance of rain. So, if people have to survive, find some ways of earning income during this month. From this fiber, we can make very strong paper, and that paper can easily be used in areas like making currency note or something, where we need very strong paper which can be washed in water. So, this helps to grow that. So, this is called roselle, but there are many plants like this. The main idea is there will be some local plants, and find out what is the use of that plant, and in what way, maybe some processing facility, maybe some making rope, maybe some boiling and making some syrup. So, add something to what is the local technology, but adding value so that the people can have more better livelihood, especially during the dry season. Very early in the morning, before the sun rises, they have to climb on the tree, and they have to put the, so in the evening they put the pot, and in the early morning before the sun rises they have to bring down. If they delay too much, the juice will start fermenting. So, in this way there will be for one business about 400 trees, and so every alternative day they change maybe 100 trees, they will put a pitcher to collect the juice, fresh juice, and then they boil it like that, thing like this, and it has to be boiled for more than 5-6 hours, because it is very slowly they have to boil. from 5 liter it will reduce about 1 liter. So, suppose there are 10 trees, then 50 liter will come and 10 liter will be the end product. Women and children and everybody is helping in by turn, because it is a 5-6 hour process. Later on they will use a wood to stir it while boiling. So, right now it is boiling and the water is becoming reduced, less and less water. So, this business is only 2-3 months. After that everything will disappear. আমরা জানি না, কিন্তু তোমরাও জানো। Before, this land was not at all cultivated. It is called sorghum. It is a red, small white color or red color seed, which can be eaten as we can make similar chapati out of that. And this leaf is very good fodder for cow. So, there are few crops which can grow on rocky soil also, and they are drought tolerant. So, we introduce this. One can eat it as a vegetable also. It is rich in calcium, much more richer than normal rice or wheat.
সে কি বলবো, এটা তো আমাদের কোনো ট্রেনিং প্রাপ্ত নয়, এটা সেই বাপ ঠাকুরদা তার থেকে শোনা করছে, ঠিক, এবং সেটাই আমরা ব্যবহার করে আসছি, এবং অনেক ক্ষেত্রে কিছু কিছু উপকারও।
তো এখানে আপনারা এখন যেটা বাকি আছে, এইটা বাকি আছে, আর সামান্য কিছু এইখান থেকে বীজ পাবেন, তাহলে গাছটা ছোট হয়ে যাবে,
গাছটা ছোট করও পায়।
These people have cultivated this land. This itself, the fodder, as we stem, is good for very high. তো সেটাই তো আমার বক্তব্য, তাই জন্যই বক্তব্যটা। যদি আমরা ভাবি যে এক হাত দূরে দূরে লাগাবো, as you can see, we grow some kind of gourd, we grow many pigeon pea, we grow many roselle. So on both sides of barn, if we grow that side, 2 steps are visible right now and 2 steps are still under water. কিন্তু ভিজে ভিজে আছে, মানে অন্য জায়গার তুলনায় এইটা যেমন ওখানে তার থেকে অনেক বেশি ভিজে। Normally they make a pond and then it dried up in the dry season, but this pond is helping them to even to drink water now or use bath for using for animals. Ready, steady, go. Manure is becoming fish food and also fertilizing the water for helping the fish. Most of it has been harvested, but there are few plants. They keep cattle, and in this village, the household, they are busy in keeping cattle only, because they have no land of their own. All this land which we are seeing in front, this belongs to another village, people in another village. They just work as laborers in those lands. So she will show now.
তুমি এই দিক থেকে দাও এই
ঠিক আছে, আস্তে 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 আস্তে। Not the, they use the pig dung in the other place. Then it is mixed like this, and that goes inside. Yeah. As I was saying, that is used over there to make vermicompost as a raw material of making vermicompost.
শুয়োরগুলো ফেলি না, শুয়োরগুলো একটা দিন ভেড়ারগুলো ছাগলেরগুলো গত্তায় ফেলি দিই জবরা।
আচ্ছা,
আর শুধু
কেন ওইটা দিয়ে কেন
ওগুলোতে হয় না
সরে বেস্টার কেন কাঁচর সারে দেন না? হয়ে যাচ্ছে, কিন্তু ওইটা ফেলে না দিয়ে মানে গর্তে জাস্ট ফেলে না দিয়ে, হ্যাঁ ঠিক ঠিক, হ্যাঁ। So here is the earthworm, and here is the earthworm. You can see the earthworm moving. So this is the earthworm, this is the earthworm. Usually it takes about 6 weeks to come to this stage.
যদি বাড়তি হয় আমরা মুরগিকে দিই দেশি মুরগি এখানে রাখো হয়ে যাবে।
So ঠিক আছে। So here comes out the decomposed dung, and the gas is going there, and that overflow is here. So usually when the cow or the buffalo dung comes after decomposition, it is not a good fertilizer because it is not equally balanced. It can be used in rice field or something which is acidic, but in normal vegetable garden we cannot use. So we have to allow it to absorb oxygen for about 5-6 days, and then overflow is coming here, and that overflow is used in the vermicompost pit as a raw material. Underneath there is a brick and cement construction, a dome-like structure, and inside that fermentation is happening. So to produce about 2 cubic meter gas every day, we need roughly 20-25 kilogram weight of cow dung, and that is available usually from 2-3 animal, morning and buffalo is giving more quantity because it is more liquid. When they were burning wood only, they had to sit down on the floor and continuously tend the fire. Now because it is gas, so it can be even higher, and they can put the material for cooking and do other work in the meantime. No need to continuously tend after the fire.
সেটা পরিষ্কার করতে সময় লাগতো তো,
সময় লাগবে
আর এখন
সময় লাগে না।
Before the pot used to be more black because the smoke used to come out, and now there is no problem of black and cleaning the pots and things. It takes much less time.
আর ধোয়া হলে চোখে জল আসে, ফুকতে হবে তো না।
So she said that the taste of the food is much better, and when she grows with the vermicompost.
আগে কত টাকা রাসায়নিক সার কিনতে মোটা
দিয়ে, আর আগে যখন সার দিতাম তখন মাটিটা শক্ত,
Now we feel
জলটা শুকিয়ে যেত 2 দিন পরে,
that the soil retains moisture for longer time, and soil is loose. Before it was much more difficult to dig. That also is a good business. They are selling the earthworm
to the ADO, agriculture department,
because 1 kilo or half kilo earthworm is much more expensive than 5 kilos of
মানে 1 টাকা পার পিস ADO কিনে।
So after you start to use your own vermi to your livestock, do you think your condition of your livestock become better? Or?
ও তো মুরগির জন্য বাড়ি থেকে কোনো খাবার কেনে
না, আমরা কিনি না, বাইরে থেকে খাবার কিনি না মুরগির জন্য।
So she does not have to buy any protein or any mixed feed from chicken from outside. She is entirely dependent on this vermicompost extra earthworm, and feeding the chicken, she feels the chicken is little bigger and little stronger, and the meat is more tasty.
কে জানে কি আমাদের কি ডিং ব্রিং বলে দিচ্ছে, কিটা হয় না না হয়, তখন আমাদের বিশ্বাস হয়েছে।
in the beginning they did not know about this technology and they could not believe that you can make gas and cook out of that. So they were not believing, but now after using for more than 2 years, they believe that this is a good way and clean way of doing, and we are happy to be able to go to different places to meet other people, and we are able to speak out our problem. This is the one important change.
মানে কোনো মতে মিশতে চায়নি, দিনের দিন শোচনীয় অবস্থায়।
So he himself, Prashanto, is living in the neighborhood village, and he saw that they are also tribals, brothers like us, but in this village they are very poor and many months of the year they don't have any work to do. So he selected this village because he felt that people, rather than being unemployed for much of the year, they should improve their food security. The symbol was selected by them, but it was drawn by external worker because it is a whole village analysis. This is not for one person. So most people in this column shows that they have 2-month food shortage, not enough food for 2 months. House by house.
Cow and buffalo, goat, sheep, pig, duck, hen, agricultural land, homestead land, and fallow land. Thereafter, the food scarcity, fodder scarcity, drinking water scarcity. Times there is no work in the villages. This is the point. And Mongol Monday.
যখনই একটা ম্যাপ তৈরি হবে সেইটা কবে তৈরি হলো কখন তৈরি হলো we are discussing that the normally deadline and where it was done should be written in the behind the particular paper. They are saying that generally they write only in the original, not in the when final copy is being made, and that is the problem. So that one is called social map. This one is called resource map. For water resource, for plant resource, the trees, the agricultural land, the upland. Where is the upland? Where is the this map is showing the different resources in and around the village. So it is showing who is doing what kind of works, what it was in the past, and this column is showing a little bit what is happening now. So 2 people are working as drivers. This is the driver. This is showing that who was working outside the village, migrating for outside labor. So earlier there were about 7 people who were doing. Now nobody is going out. Is a weather advisory. When it is going to rain, here it is saying that, and also saying that if in this season you are cultivating wheat, you are cultivating mustard, you are cultivating vegetables, what are the recommendations, what you need to do, what kind of disease may happen. In this village there is no board and other things, so in the paper it is printed and put it here, and only 5-6 families. She is showing brinjal, her garden, it is her garden. So how is the so there are bean varieties separate for rainy season and separate for cold season. Ridge gourd, we call ridge gourd. It is growing in a clipper and hanging like this, and this has black seed. In many countries of Asia and Africa, they eat this green vegetable. This is for kepro seed, but it is a climber and can climb on a tree also. This is okra seed, the lady's finger seed. So this we can keep for about a year. After that, seed is not so good. ওটা এমনি মাঠে যদি চাষ হয় তার জন্য ঠিক আছে। This is one of the introduced plants, one of the new plants through the entire year. It can grow under trees also, and it can grow with very little water and no need of seeding again. Normally for 3-4 months we keep eating the leaf, and when it grows up we harvest only this thing and eat as a leaf and let it grow, and when it grow about this tall, then we can harvest everything and cut it into pieces and we can eat that. Many beans, you can see also pigeon pea here, you can see also papaya here.
একটা উত্তর দিলেন, এতগুলো বেলাতি নিয়ে গেলেন, এতগুলো খেয়ে নিলেন, কেমন লাগলো না লাগলো, কোনো উত্তর এখনো পর্যন্ত দেয়নি।
বাস ফিডব্যাকও দেয়নি, খালি খাচ্ছে,
শুধু খাচ্ছে।
আচ্ছা অর্ধেন্দুদা বলছে
ওইটাই ফিডব্যাক, মানে বারবার এসে খাচ্ছে, ওইটাই ফিডব্যাক যে ভালো লেগেছে বলেই তো আসছে।
আরেকটা অর্ধেন্দুদা বলছেন ওই কোণের দিকে
According to their available time, according to their available water, they design what they should grow. So this garden and this garden and this garden next to each other, but they are not exactly the same, and many plants are different also. So diversity is also important in that way.
ফুড চয়েস
এইভাবে এইভাবে
এটা আলু লাগিয়েছে না সবটা
এইবারে না সবটা আলু নয়, এটা সঙ্গে ভাগ করা আছে। আমরা এইভাবে ভাগ করব, এভাবে ভাগ করে
সব বেড করে করে
এবারে এখন ভাবনা চিন্তা করব
ঠিক
তিনটি হাড়ির মধ্যে।
So here they have put pots under the soil so that irrigation can happen. Yeah.
এটা আছে আমার ঢাকাবার, হ্যাঁ পুরোটাই খড় দেয়া আছে,
মানে মালচ করা আছে,
মালচ দেয়া আছে, পুরোটাই খড় দেয়া আছে, খড়ে ঢাকানো আছে পুরো জমিটাই।
সেটা উঠবে। হ্যাঁ, এই জায়গার মধ্যে অনেক আলু টালু লাগানো আছে, তো এমন কিছু লাগাতে হবে যেটা বেশি ছড়ায় না।
না, আর এই যে যেমন মাছগুলো ফাঁকা আছে,
ঠিক টমেটো, বিনস,
বিনস লাগিয়েছে। আচ্ছা এই সাইডটাতে বেগুন দিয়েছে,
হ্যাঁ বেগুন,
তাহলে এইখানে
আলু পেলা আর করে হরতে নিয়ে যাম কো দেড় কেজি পায় তো নেই দিতে আলু পা এটা বলা তবে এগরা এগো বলু আগো মিনা জিমে জিমে তো হই যা এগো বলু এগো চলো নিতে চল।
With the help of Government of India, we have established this kind of center. So inside this, we have possibility of measuring temperature, what time to what time we have rainfall and wind speed and those kind of things. Humidity also. Their prediction, local measurement and local people's observation. These three things are triangulated together to understand what is the best season for growing crop, when is it going to rain, next 5 days is it going to rain or not. So accordingly we advise what farmers should do. This is compared with the satellite data that meteorological department is releasing for the whole country and for the region.
আসে অনেকে এখানকে আসে, প্রায় অধিকাংশ লোকই আসে
বেশিরভাগই।
Every Sunday it is, you can bring your paddy for here for processing, so it is saying like that. And
মনে করুন দূরকে যেতে হচ্ছে না।
Right now he says that it is useful for us because it is closer to me and that is why I prefer this place.
কুঁড়ো সহ চালটা দিয়ে দিলে একদিকে কুঁড়ো যাবে, একদিকে ভাঙা চাল যাবে, একদিকে গোটা চাল আসবে, আর একদিকে পাথরগুলো আলাদা।
সেটাই হয়। Earlier they were using a traditional technology. They were able to extract only 2-3 liters. Now that has increased by about 10 times. Normally when we make rice from paddy, some husk is coming out and also some broken rice, and that broken rice is also used as animal fodder, and the main rice that like some person. So normally if 100 kilo of paddy, then 60 kilo of rice, and for that grinding we are using this machine. This blue color machine is used for the grinding. Oil can be used for preserving seeds for long time, especially bean seeds which become very quickly bad. But neem seed, the oil cake, this is used for wide range of vegetables and crops as a pest repellent. It does not always kill the pest, but they don't like to eat anymore when it is bitter, because neem is very bitter principle. One and a half acre of land, roughly 20 people work together to plant these trees. All the trees which are here are multi-use, multi-purpose trees. They are always useful for people either to burn or to feed to their cattle or to sell something in the market. This is an example of a collective forestry scheme in which they try to improve the wasteland by growing trees and by adding nitrogen to the soil by natural means. So other than initial labor, other than initially people working together then they keep on harvesting, and the more they harvest, the more these kind of trees like subabul, the more we cut it, the more it grows. There will be many seeds. These are seeds. Seed pod will come out. In about 4-5 years, many of these trees will start yielding. Hibiscus also, roselle. This is mango tree. This is also mango tree. The other fruit trees which are drought tolerant, like mango is a big tree, but this one, Gyriphus, it's called bear tree. It has a fruit about this big, which is sweet and sour. And people can collect the grass for their animals, and they allow the. So in the normal thinking of people, they only think of one fruit orchard, but here is multiple fruit, at least 5-6 kind of fruit, some big and some middle and some low. So that is why it's possible to put them together. So this is idea how poor villagers get together as a group and how they can recover the land and also same time earn some living for themselves. In local language, male buffalo is called kara. Kara means একটা খামালু গাছে কমসে কম 5 কিলো থেকে 10 কিলো হবে তো ফসল করছেনই মানে আগে তো করছিলেন গাছের নিচে হ্যাঁ ওদিকে খুশি হয়ে that time when they had more money and thing they had made a chicken house over the pond but recently when they have about 2-3 years ago when they have widened the pond a little bit that time that chicken house is gone. This was given loan by the West Bengal government. হ্যাঁ ওই হঠাৎ করে উঠলে ধপাস করে পড়ে হ্যাঁ সেই হঠাৎ ওঠারও দরকার নেই ধপাস করে পড়ারও দরকার নেই ওই আমার মতো চলুন ঘড়ির হিসেবে এবার ঘড়ির হিসেবে যদি এটা সেন্টার হয় এখান থেকে ওই 12 থেকে 1-এর মধ্যে কি আছে 1 থেকে 2-এর মধ্যে কি আছে 2 থেকে 3-এর মধ্যে কি আছে কটা বড় গাছ আছে কোথায় আছে সেটা আমি মার্ক করতে পারি হ্যাঁ তারপরে সেই রাফ ম্যাপটা থেকেই ওই মাপ মতো প্রথমে রাফ মতো একটা স্কেচ করে সেখানে দেখিয়ে নিয়ে যে এখানে একটা বড় তেঁতুল গাছ আছে এখানে 2টো জাম গাছ আছে ঝড়ের কথা সেটা আপনিই হবে করতে থাকে 10 বছরে হয়তো এত বড় হবে মেন্ট কি করতে হবে কোন সময় ওই যেটা বলছিলাম যে আরেকটা জিনিস যেটা তৈরি করবেন এটা ম্যাপ আরেকটা জিনিস যেটা তৈরি করবেন সেটা ক্যালেন্ডার ক্যালেন্ডার যেটা তৈরি করবেন সেটাতে আর যদি কিছু নাও থাকে তাহলে 3টে এই বাড়িটা আপনার বসার জায়গা
ওটা আমাদের রান্না করবে
রান্না হবে তাহলে ঠিক আছে ওটা পরের বর্ষায় যদি ওটা থেকেই 30টা কাটিং কেটে নিয়ে সব জায়গায় একটা করে গুঁজে রাখেন তাহলে এই গর্তগুলো বন্ধ হয়ে যায় আছে সেইটাই আমি বলছি যে সবই হচ্ছে অল্প অল্প নর্মালি পিপল ডোন্ট থিঙ্ক ট্রিজ অ্যাজ এ সোর্স অফ ইনকাম দিস ওয়াজ এ ডেমনস্ট্রেশন টু শো দ্যাট ইউ ক্যান গ্রো ট্রিজ অ্যান্ড স্টিল so either people think that trees are good for nature and let us leave it as a protected area, this is the forest department idea, so people should not come in, or we have farm where only people are thought and we are not thinking about the animals. So in the village there is malnourishment because they are not eating enough. In the city also there is 15-20% malnourishment, but it is malnutrition of a different kind. It is because they are eating too much or they are eating wrong kind of food. In the old days, there was more closeness to the soil, and from the soil people learn and they learn from each other. Now it has become a vertical society where specialized. So technically I am not qualified, I should not be teaching agriculture because I am a commerce graduate. Economics and commerce is my subject. So what should I know about fish and what should I know about tree and what should, so for each you need a horticulture expert, a fisheries expert, a duckery expert, but farmer has to be expert of the whole thing. The ecological agriculture is more knowledge intensive. Normally if we don't do anything, it will still scatter the seed by itself. The bean will open and seed will fall and new plants will start. যে এর থেকেও আরও অনেক শুকনো জায়গাতে লোক কাজ করছে শুকনো শুকনো বলছে we can take a branch from the other tree which grows twice a year and we can graft it together. So one will be in that branch, it will fruit twice a year. Easily they can do it. This can be done for lemon, for guava, for some orange also because it is lemon family. Yeah. This canal is going through 50-60 kilometers. Lot of canal is there, but lot of the land on both sides of canal belong to the government, but it has not been utilized. We have shown by organizing poor people, you can plant many kind of tree. Seeing that Panchayat is actually planting trees, but they plant only 1 or 2 varieties of short-term timbers, which is created by villagers, and every kilometer one group is guiding, maybe 15-20 families, maybe sometimes 30-40 families, but 1.5 kilometer, and you will see that in that they are harvesting fodder, they are harvesting fruit, they are harvesting some of the timber and selling it, and out of that money they are even donating some of it, giving back some of it as a rent to the village council. Some varieties become more dominant, you are saying, because from the root new trees were coming and they were not allowing the other tree to grow so much once it was cut.
75%.
So 75% belong to the community.
জ্বালানিটা শুধু আমার এই 27টা ফ্যামিলি না,
আরো বেশি,
আরো অনেকেই হয়তো জ্বালানি পাতা বা ডাল অনেকের ফ্যামিলি এইভাবে চলেছে।
So he's saying fodder and firewood, not only 27 family, another 20-30 family also is able to get. So they said that we like to plant again. So they had cut in different installments and sold, and they earned more than 2 lakh, almost 3 lakh rupees. Bacterial and fungal fertilizer he also manufactured here for various kind of legumes and other things, because this we need very little quantity, maybe 4-5 packets, 1 kilo or 2 kilo for 1 hectare, and this is enough. So bacteria multiply very rapidly. Suppose there is 1 million here, in the field they will become 20 or 30 million within a week, and very quickly they will, from the mineral which is in the soil, they will make it soluble and absorbable by the plant. এটা কি? Azospirillum. Azospirillum is a kind of bacteria which is applied to wheat or to grass family crop, not legume. The others are mainly for legume family crop. This one can be used with maize also. The bag will be hung from the top, and from that mushroom will start coming. and that mushroom, here we have picture of that. He is saying that from this one bag we can harvest about 1.5 kilo mushroom. That means about 600 rupees income. For expenditure is 20 rupees. So even in the people who have no land, they can grow something to eat and to sell also. 1 kilo mushroom কত টাকায় বিক্রি হয়? So 1 kilo of raw mushroom is sold for about 400 rupees per kilo. ঠিক. He takes a broom and sprays on sprinkles it on the plant, and the plant color is better, and also it is not eaten by pests. It has a pungent smell. I can already get it. And আপনার ছেলে মেয়ে কজন, কিরকম বাড়িতে কজন আছে?
আমার 6টা লোক, তার মধ্যে আমার একটা ছেলে একটা মেয়ে আর ছেলের দুটো ছেলে।
In his house there is 6 people, his son and his daughter, and they have 2 children. They all help him in farming. আপনার ভাগ্য ভালো, জল আছে কাছে। সবাই জল নেই বলে কাঁদছে।
আমার কাছে জল আছে। এই জলটা থাকবে আপনার প্রায় 14 মাস পর্যন্ত। তারপর নদীটা মরে যাবে।
I said that you are lucky that you have a river flowing next door, so you have no problem of water. He started learning farming when he was 12-year-old from his father. So he has been trying to innovate all the time, and now I get the opportunity to learn, so that I learn. সার্ভিস সেন্টারের সঙ্গে কতদিন হলো দেখা হয়েছে?
আমার দেখা হয়েছে ধরুন 2012 থেকে।
So service center DRCSC we met about 5 years ago.
বাড়িতে গোবর গ্যাস আছে, গোবর গ্যাস থেকে আমার জ্বালানি।
He also has gas dome like you saw yesterday. From my cow manure and other thing, I make manure, and also I make vermicompost, earthworm compost. So that is.
খোল মাঝে মধ্যে কিনতে হয়, কারণ সরষে লাগানো আছে, সেই সরষে থেকে তেল পিষিয়ে খোল হয়, সেটা গরুতে খায়। কিন্তু আমাকে মাঝে মধ্যে কিছুটা কিনতে হয়, সব ঝিমিয়ে থাকে না খোলটা যখন, তখন আমাকে মাঝে মাঝে 2-4 কেজি করে কিনতে হয়।
So seeing me, many other neighbors also inspired, and I also go to teach them how to do mixed farming. If I had money, I will have many different purposes, but the main thing will be to repair my house and the roof. করছেন ওটা কি ভালো না খারাপ হবে?
না, এটা ভালো হচ্ছে।
ভালো হচ্ছে তো? হ্যাঁ, খুশি আপনি?
হ্যাঁ, আমি খুব খুশি।
So are you happy with this? So he said that yes, I can go to Kolkata. I have not been there very much. He is happy. I said that I have many health problems or other thing, but he says that I am happy in last 15 years.
Chatterjee is a great example of someone who works on the grassroots with marginalized people. And the ARI approach is that that's where real change is going to happen, change for the better for marginalized or indigenous peoples. So Chatterjee speaks from that perspective, where you work not top down, but from the base with those who are in that situation. And that's where he lived and that's where he worked. So he can speak to the power of that, where then they exert pressure upward for change.
Chatterjee is a very, very clever man. Always he just tell us very simple thing in our life to do. So she's a very nice teacher. So when you use the knowledge Chatterjee you use, you can maybe survive in our local village. So
before I was thinking many people in India they are rich, but through him we find the other people is poor, but they already start practice in agriculture, practice working together, practice how to stop the discrimination. So this is the many things we told us, and we come with our idea how we can do like Chatterjee Sensei. Yeah, because like ARI motto, we need to learn from each other.